everybody, welcome to another video. We start this one off by looking over to the left hand side. Do you think this van should have pulled out? I personally think it shouldn't have.
Really?
Now for me there's a few reasons why that shouldn't have pulled out. One, it made the Audi brake. If you've pulled out and made someone brake, you shouldn't have pulled out. And second, there isn't a second lane there. It's made a second lane. Third, that grey car cannot see past it now, so that grey car has got no chance of pulling out unless it does it blind. And look what's written on the side of that van. Trying to drum up business, maybe. Now in this clip, I'm turning right up here, and I want to turn right straight afterwards. So it's a little bit of a right, but someone behind me gets the ump with me and uses the horn. Because they haven't seen me indicate twice. Now this is the car that got the ump with me. You saw I cannot move over any further. And now you'll hear my reaction to them using the horn.
What are you bipping me for? I'm turning right. I'm allowed to turn right here. Nothing's saying I can't.
Now the same junction with the two cars in front of me turning right and then right. Now look how they do it differently to me. You'll see in a second they hardly make any effort to get out of the way of the road. I was on the hatch markings, and that's what you use hatch markings for in this situation anyway. I mean, why are they stuck in the middle of the road, especially the Burke in the Merc?
Going round there as well then, yeah?
You know, you're turning right, move over to the right maybe? I don't know, or is that too much to ask? Now in this clip I'm going to be playing the grumpy old man that may be a little bit old-fashioned. I don't know, you tell me if I'm right or wrong here. Over to the left hand side, a little bit further down the road, there is a post office where people go and collect their post where they haven't been in the day before and all that sort of stuff. You know what a bloody post office does anyway. Crossing the road here, this woman, phone to the head, still in her pyjamas and dressing gown and slippers, and yet she's got in her car, because there's a car parked to our right hand side, to go and collect a parcel that was obviously tried to be delivered. Really? You've gone out of your house to get into your car in your pyjamas and dressing gown to go to the post office. So am I massively old-fashioned that you should actually get dressed to go out rather than stay in your pyjamas? I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. Now I understand that there's some people that play the London Dashcam bingo game. I also understand there's a drinking game going on. Every time I say one of my regular sayings, they have to take a shot. The best one is, in this clip, shots! We're just going to see someone go through a red light there, as you can see, clearly red, just like the car. Now in this clip, shots, you'll see a left-hand only lane. Guess what car can't work that out? Yep, always an Audi. Shots! I'm not going to be shouting that out anymore for those of you who are fed up with it already. Now I'm going to be a grumpy old man again and try to put the world to rights. This here really does annoy me though. This really does annoy me. To my right hand side, look at them. Two little kids they're dragging across the road in between parked vehicles. A parked van no less, so no one can see round or through the parked van. And they're standing there crossing. Did the police car stop for them? No, it didn't. And I will show you that, because it didn't see him until too late. We go to the rear camera now, and these are the things that really bug me. It's like, in a few years time, them kids will be out with their friends without mum and dad, and they will be crossing a road like that. So when you go to the hospital because your son or daughter has been knocked over in the middle of the road, you will know why, because you have not taught them the correct way. They learn from you, and if you're going to teach them to cross a road like that, they will copy that and when they're out with their friends they would do the same and get hit by a car, and you'll be in the hospital or even worse in the morgue when look, there's a crossing right there that you can show them how to use a crossing properly. Rant over. Thank you. And I'm still continuing to be a grumpy old git because the other thing that gets on my tits is manners. You'll see this little red car come round the corner. I'm waiting for him. A little acknowledgement wouldn't go amiss, would it? A little acknowledgement wouldn't go amiss.
You're welcome. You're welcome, mate.
Now in this clip, this is Leatherhead one-way system. Now both of these lanes turn right. After you turn right, there is a sharp left turn to go into the station if you want the other side of the station. This truck wants that road. Why it's in this lane then, I do not know. So it's basically doing a sharp right here and then a sharp left. He's very lucky that the BMW next to him is not driving like a BMW and racing you off.
On your side.
But then this guy almost misses the turning. Look, he goes past it and he's on the wrong side of the road crossing that. We'll go to the rear camera to show you. Look, he's only just got in the turning. And as I say, if you don't know where you're going, stay in the left-hand lane. So next up, we've got the trainee Audi driver. Yep, in their toy car, the Fiat 500 behind us. Now, behind that, all that's down this road is flats and houses. So this person, I'm putting two and two together, who's looking at their phone or something in their car there, hasn't even got to the end of their road before they're distracted by their phone. Because like I say, I'm putting two and two together and they've just left home to go to work maybe or something like that, go shopping, whatever. And they haven't got to the end of their road before they're distracted by their phone. Because there's nothing else down there other than flats and houses. And we're still on the toy car, the trainee Audi driver. As we get a little bit closer into Epsom High Street here. I will zoom in again when she gets right up close to me. And you'll see the head go down. There's nothing interesting down there. Well, nothing that you should be playing around with while you're driving anyway, put it that way. And I know the quality isn't great, but you can clearly see her head down where there's nothing there to be looking at other than a phone. So we're going to be moving on from here. She's going to be turning left there down Epsom High Street and I'm going to be going off to Leatherhead. Now we're just going to obviously speeding this up, going past the hospital and all that sort of stuff, because a car catches me up. Bear in mind it's only a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. The car is in the distance there, a little white one, another little toy car, a trainee Audi driver that is obviously doing the speed limit to catch me up quite quickly. So when it does catch me up quite quickly, doing the speed limit obviously, you'll notice that it's got one light out. And braking distance isn't a thing for that. So it's on its way to becoming an Audi driver. Now this is what we can see from the front camera now. As you can see, I've got nowhere to go. I can't speed up even if I wanted to. There's four cars in front of me, and then there's me, and then there's the trainee Audi driver behind me. And as you can see, we're all bunched up. But this thing just wants to get a little bit closer to me, because obviously that will help everything. That will help everything if you get really close to the car in front. Yeah. Now, I don't understand why people drive this close, because the camera's not doing it justice here. There's only about a car and a half length between us. And I mean a proper car, not a toy car like that. You know, there's probably about, you can probably get about 8 of them cars in there. I just don't understand this thinking of driving this close though. About a car and a half length away at 30 and 40 miles an hour down this road. It changes this road, the speed limit. And it's never far enough away for either of them speeds to have safe braking distance. It's something that I won't tolerate though. I will not go faster for these people. I will not change my driving style to suit their stupid style of driving. It just won't happen. We know that it's got a light out, so it will not pass an MOT. But will that be the only thing it don't pass an MOT on? What about the brakes? Well, you would hope that the brakes are good, wouldn't you? Being that close a driver, someone that drives that close all the time, you would think actually your brakes are okay. But who knows? At the time of doing this editing, which is the 18th of November, this car has got 6 days left on the current MOT. So it does make you think, is it going to go through an MOT? Not with that light it ain't, but what about the brakes? Anyway, as we go to the front camera, I've still got all the cars that were in front of me there. So I couldn't go anywhere. You must have been able to see further beyond me. So just pull back and relax. Have a relaxing drive rather than driving on tenterhooks all the time. I will never understand that type of driving. And we still haven't finished with the trainee Audi drivers, the Fiat 500. This is the same day. We're back in Epsom and I'm just about to turn right when I see this car coming towards me.
Another one with the light out. What's going on?
Yep, another one with the light out as well. Are they renowned for that or something, to not have good lights? Now in this clip we've got a little bit of a petrol head moment for you. Just in front of this car here. Again, I haven't got a clue what it is. We go to the rear camera now so you can see it a little bit better. And it was bloody freezing that day. I would not want to be in that car with it being that cold. No thank you. I prefer to have my electric warm car. Now in this clip we've got an Audi in front of us, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at the Tesla in front of that. We've got a warning coming up. My sat-nav has obviously told us that there's a blocked lane coming up, and there is signs up there telling us the right hand lane is blocked. There's roadworks in the right hand lane. It's literally just across the lights. So why would you go into the outside lane there? Why would you go into the lane that you know is blocked? Now I know people say you've got to use the whole road, but when you're that close to the obstruction, really? Does it mean that you go into the outside lane there when you're that close to the obstruction? Not for me. I think you should be getting into the lane, the correct lane, that one that ain't blocked when you see them signs. You're too close to it. Obviously this Tesla hasn't got a clue where it's going as it just pulls out in front of the Audi again. So not always an Audi, sometimes it's a Tosla. So we're on the good old M25 at the moment, and as you can see, if you want to go to Croydon, you want to be in my lane. That car there though wants to go to Croydon. Standard driving for Croydon, I guess. So as his slip road starts, and his slip road is to go to Brighton, he's in the wrong lane, obviously. Solid white lines, doesn't matter, he's going to Croydon, sunny old Croydon, and their driving standards in Croydon, yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. I do hope your doors are locked and you're wearing your stab vest, because you might need them driving like that in Croydon. Now I get asked quite a lot, what car do I drive? Well, this car in front of us, this Kia, is the same car as mine, but it's not electric. It's the same shape, same everything. It's even a private hire driver, same colour, same everything. Except my one is fully electric and that one is a plug-in hybrid. I have a decision to make. In a couple of months' time, my car will be mine. I would have paid off a ridiculous amount of money and it will be mine. But every private hire driver seems to be driving one of these bloody things now. They are the new Toyota Prius, which every private hire driver seemed to have years ago, but now the Kia Niro are taking over. And I don't want to be associated with private hire drivers. Look, there's another one overtaking us, exactly the same model as the one in front. Yeah, so I've got a decision to make. Do I actually buy a new car? Do I sell this? When I can sell this, probably, maybe if I'm lucky, get about 10 grand for it, that's all. And then pay for another, an extortionate amount of money for another new car. I've also got to bring into my age for this. I can only use this car that I'm in now for another 6 years to do this job. They're only allowed to drive them for 10 years doing this job. So I've got another 6 years before I have to get a new car anyway. And I will be 63. I do not want to be taking another finance deal out at 63. So maybe I've got to do it now at 57. And then that'll last me another 10 years. Maybe that's the way to go. The car I'm looking at is a Skoda Enyaq 85, and I know parts of that are made in Germany. I know it's VW made and all that sort of stuff, apparently, so I've been reading after everything I say about German cars. But then I have said about German cars, I actually do like the German cars. I'm just not that keen on the drivers. Yeah, so let us know what you think down below, because at the moment, as I've said in my previous videos, I pay £259 a week for this car on a rent to buy scheme. The Skoda Enyaq 85 will be, you ready for this, £275 a week for 4 years. Yeah, so we're talking a serious amount of money that I've got to earn before I earn money to actually live on. But as I say, in 6 years' time, I can't drive this car doing this job. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult decision. I'm thinking about the car, to be honest. That's where my head is going at the moment. The car has got to go, and yeah, and get a Skoda Enyaq. I like this car, I really do. The thing that lets it down is the boot. The boot size is ridiculously small to be doing my job, especially as I do quite a lot of airport runs, and you put one of them big suitcases in them and it's pretty much full up. So the Skoda Enyaq has got a massive boot, so that could be quite nice. Yeah, so that's where my head is at the moment for this. Let us know in the comments down below what you think that I should do. I'll be quite interested to get more people's advice on this. Anyway, in this clip, we are looking at this guy here who is just waiting there. That's a live lane, by the way. And he's just stopped looking for a space. Instead of driving up the live lane there, and notice there's another Kia behind that. That's another Kia e-Niro, a more modern one. He stops and waits, that guy. A proper taxi, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, he's still looking for a spot. There are spots further down the road. You just got to drive. So he's just stopped now again and waiting for someone to actually leave. Rather than drive down there a little bit further and pull into a space, he's actually stopped and waiting for someone to leave. So everyone behind him has got to wait for him because he's special. He's very fucking special. And I had to tell him that as well.
I literally stopped again. Find the space. Yes, he's literally stopped and waited for someone to move rather than find the space himself. Waited for someone to get out of a space. You absolute fucking wanker.
Now the car in front of me's done what I was saying that the other car should have done. It's gone driving down here and then it's going to park here. It can't park for toffee though. I don't know why it didn't just drive in. The space is big enough. If you can't reverse, drive in.
All you have to do is just drive down here and there's spaces. Even though some people can't park.
And as you can see, there's a ton of spaces up this end. You just got to drive to them rather than wait there and keep everyone waiting. How do these people do it? I just couldn't do that with everyone waiting behind you. You're just sitting there in a live lane. Now in this clip, I've got a question for you. Is this car coming towards us legal? Not this first one, the second one. The one that you can't see in. Now they got cameras nowadays, so they can see if you're on the phone or you got your seatbelt on or something like that. You can't see in that car at all. I could not see who was driving, man, woman or child. I didn't know. So we're going to speed it up here until we get to the next numpty. This is the A217, by the way. I'm coming back home from the airport, or back into London from the airport, not home. I just find it an easier route. If you're trying to get jobs, you're not going to get a job on the motorway. When we get this numpty, you see that big arrow there on the floor saying that it's a right turn only lane. He's got one car in front of him, me. That's the only car he's got in front of him is me. And yet he goes into the right hand lane that's got a great big arrow on the ground to turn right, but he's not turning right, obviously. Oh, and here's a little petrol head moment for you as well. Again, I don't know what it is. But yeah, there he goes. Yeah. Special!
You feel better for doing that.
Now in this next little segment, there's going to be quite a lot of petrol head moments for you. It was the London to Brighton. Unfortunately, quite a lot of them didn't make it. They got broken down on the way. I will be on the A23 coming back into London. Going to play a little bit of music, and the cars will be coming towards us with a whole heap of traffic behind them because they're obviously quite slow, if they can go at all.
See the sights and hear the sounds, airports, lights and coastal towns. Round the bend and underground, city life no slowing down. In the London dash we ride, backwards fly, tempers high, side streets wide, eyes open wide. Feel the rush, the city's pride. From the foggy streets of grey to where the seagulls steal the day. On the move, no time to stay, chasing dawn, no time to play. Arms out, windows feeling free, cranky tunes on stereo. City's calls for you and me, feel the beat, just let it flow. In the London dash we ride, backwards fly, tempers high, side streets wide, eyes open wide. Feel the rush, the city's pride. Arms out, windows feeling free, cranking tunes on stereo. City's pulse for you and me, feel the beat, just let it flow. In the London dash we ride, backwards fly, tempers high, side streets wide, eyes open wide.
Yep, so that was a little bit of the London to Brighton. Quite a few didn't make it. Anyway, a little bit further down the road, we're coming to this roundabout here. The road that I want to go down right in front of me, I cannot go down because they've closed it. Now I could take this next left, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go through the flats. I know a little shortcut there, but this is still a roundabout. You know, i.e. priority to the right.
Go up that way.
Yes, and I know I shouldn't be giving him a round of applause, but I think he deserved one. Now in this clip there's two lanes coming up. Not here, but there is coming up. One has got a straight on and a right turn arrow. There's two cars there ready to turn right. This car behind me gets incredibly lucky because it's not turning right, and there's two cars in front of him that are.
You fucking cheeky fucker. There's no way that you could have seen that they were going to be able to go.
Anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.